I'm in Front Royal, Virginia, and this is the northern entrance to Shenandoah National Park. This is mile marker 0. There's my little red car. I'm pulled over in a little pull-off area here, and up there about another 1/10 of a mile is the entrance where you pay to go in. I'm going to park right there, and right here to the left is a concrete signpost telling me that there's the Dickey Ridge Trail. So this is a trail that I've skipped over all these years. I finally decided today I was going to hike part of it. I'm planning to hike from here up to the visitor center. So we'll see how that goes. It's been raining here quite a bit lately, so I don't know if I have to cross any streams or not. I don't think so, at least nothing major. So let's get started and see how this goes. The elevation here is 625 feet. So here's what the beginning of the Dickey Ridge Trail looks like down near the park entrance. This is obviously an old road. Probably went up the side of the mountain before the park was formed. So they just kept it as a trail. I don't know if it's going to be this big, this wide, all the way up to the visitor center or not, but we'll see. There's where I'm coming from, and probably just about 1/10 of a mile into my hike. Anyway, this is following along a nice little stream here. Maybe you can hear it over the jet noise. One and a quarter miles into my hike. I'm up to 900 feet, so it hadn't been real steep so far. Real nice hike so far. I'm still on the road. About a half a mile into my hike, I crossed over. I'm on the other side of the creek now. The creek's off to my left. There's where I came from, and just thought I'd point this out up here. Look at this area. Most of the terrain is pretty overgrown, but this is fairly cleared out up there. Now that's a steep hill there, but that's the whole idea of hammock hanging. Go up there a little ways and put your hammock up, and you'd be just fine. This is the way I'm going. I can hear some road noise from Skyline Drive off to my left. And the creek I've been following is over there to the left, and Skyline Drive is right up there somewhere. I can hear it, but I can't see it. So we'll just continue on up the side of the mountain. Don't know if this is going to show up, but this is the beginnings of a stone wall, which indicates somebody lived up here back in the day. Maybe you can see some of it here. So this was somebody's property. It's pretty steep terrain here too, so they definitely learned how to live on the side of a mountain. Keeps on going up that way. .9 miles into my hike. I'm up to 1,200 feet now. There's Skyline Drive going down the mountain. Here's where I came from, and this is where the trail crosses over. Skyline Drive right here. I got to go in a diagonal, and up there's a concrete post up that way. .2 miles into my hike. I'm up to 1,320 feet now. That's where I came from. Recall I've already crossed over Skyline Drive. And this is one of the very few flat sections along this stretch of the trail. And I just stopped here for a second because this whole area here looks like maybe something used to be here. It's all cleared out, hardly any trees. Be interesting to check this out in the wintertime. And continuing on up the side of the mountain this way. Let's see, it's about 1.5 miles more up to the visitor center. Three miles into my hike, I'm up to 1,610 feet elevation now. There's where I came from. And this is still an old mountain road. Here's where I'm headed. It's about another 0.8 of a mile up to the visitor center, and about another 300 feet to climb. So better get cracking. .3 miles into my hike, I'm up to 1,750 feet. There's where I came from, up the side of the hill. This road is it's climbing the mountain up on a ridge line. Let me guess, it's Dickey Ridge. And I just noticed over in there, with some minor clearing out, it's kind of flat over in there. Another good hammock camping spot. Now the only problem there is you can hear Skyline Drive from here. We're pretty close to the road. But at night there's not going to be that much traffic on Skyline Drive. And then got to continue on up the side of the mountain here. Let's see, about another 0.6 of a mile to the visitor center, and I got about another 200 feet to climb in elevation. .8 miles into my hike, I'm up to 1,860 feet elevation. And there's a signpost, the intersection with the Fox Hollow Trail. There's where I came from, up Dickey Ridge from Front Royal. And so there's where I came from. When you hit this signpost, if you go left, that takes you down into Fox Hollow. This is about a 1 mile loop. And then you come back up up there a ways and takes you back up to the visitor center. I'm just going to continue straight up to the visitor center. It's, let me look at my GPS here. It's about another 2/10 of a mile. Four miles into my hike, I'm up to 1,910 feet, and just came out of the woods over there. There's Skyline Drive, heading north to Front Royal, and here's the Dickey Ridge Visitor Center. So I'm going to cross over here and go find some picnic tables and stuff and eat a little food, drink some water. I walked from the Dickey Ridge Visitor Center over here. This is a large picnic area. You can only see a small portion of it from here, but I'm going to sit down right here in the shade and have a little bit of lunch. That drinking fountain there is turned on and it works, so that's nice. I brought bottled water, but maybe I'll take a taste of their water and see what it tastes like. So I'm going to set up here and eat lunch. I'm starting to head back down the side of the mountain now, and saw these coming up. Thought I'd get a picture of them on the way back down. Those are blooms off of a Tulip poplar tree, and I'd say that's the Tulip poplar tree right there going up. And those trees get pretty big, and some of the biggest trees, that one's pretty good size, but they come bigger than that in the park here. And some of them, I mean, you can't get your arms around that one. Some of them, two people probably couldn't get their arms around. So anyway, they got real pretty blooms. The leaves are real broad. They look a little bit like maple leaves, except the tips are not real pointy. So anyway, head on down the side of the mountain here. Here's another tulip poplar tree. This one's a little bit more in the open. Maybe you can see it better. There's a bunch of them in through here. That's the way I'm headed, down the side of the mountain. There's another tulip poplar. I lean my trekking poles up against it for scale. That one's pretty good size right there. .7 miles into my hike, I'm down to 1,210 feet, and getting ready to cross Skyline Drive right there. And heading back across on a diagonal and back into the woods over there. .2 miles into my hike, I'm down to 960 feet elevation, and I just came around that switchback there where that concrete signpost is, and now I'm rejoining this stream here. I don't remember the name of this stream. I'll have to look it up when I get home. I don't have a large enough piece of the map for it to be printed on there. But anyway, and here's the stone wall again. I passed several other ones higher up on the mountain. I didn't bother to photograph them though. But anyway, here's this one and the stream. So from here back down to my car, I'll be following this stream. And I got to get down to about 600. I'm at 9. I'm about 950 and 960. Now I got to get down about 625. About 300 more feet down and I'll be back to my car. This is a map of today's hike. There's two quadrangle maps taped together. The upper part is Front Royal, 1994. That covers down to this line right here, and then south of that, the quadrangle name is Chester Gap, 1994. This is Front Royal, Virginia up here. And this red line right here is US Route 340. Now, since this map was created in 1994, this road has turned into a divided highway, and they have changed the entrance to Shenandoah Park a little bit. It used to come down here like this. Now, after they made this a divided highway, what they did was they moved the entrance south a little ways. So now it actually comes down here and ties in to divided highway right in through here. So you come in to the Front Royal entrance to Shenandoah Park, and as soon as you come around the bend, if you look off to the right, you'll see a concrete signpost for the Dickey Ridge Trail. And there's two areas, one about here and one about here, where you can pull over and park your car. So that's where I parked my car, was right about here. And then you get on Dickey Ridge Trail. Now this trail turns out to be just basically an old wagon road. I'm sure it was there before the park was created, and so they just kept it as a trail. So from here all the way up to here, the trail follows this creek here, and then once you get to here, you start these series of switchbacks. The trail gets a lot steeper, and you turn away from the creek. So this section here is steep. When you get up to here, you'll cross over a Skyline Drive. This red road here is Skyline Drive, coming up the side of the mountain. You'll cross it at a diagonal and just go straight back into the woods. This area right here is where it says trail, is kind of a flat area. You just keep following this trail. Oh, and then once you get up into this area here, you see how these contour lines are bent like this? You're actually up on a ridge, climbing this Dickey Hill. And when you get to here, this is when you'll come out of the woods. And if you look to the right, this is an open field, and if you come up the hill just a little ways, you'll see Skyline Drive, and you'll see the Dickey Ridge Visitor Center right here. Now, there's some interesting things to see inside the Visitor Center, so it's worth going in there. I didn't bother today going in myself. If you come down this way just a little ways, there's some benches to sit on, and you got a nice view to the mountains to the west. So then what I did was I just came on down here. Now this area in through here is a pretty good sized picnic area, and it's a nice area. So I came here, picked out a picnic table, ate some lunch, and then I turned around and went back down the side of the mountain the way I came, just like this. So this stretch from here to this first switchback is not real steep. It's just a steady grade. But once you hit this switchback here, this thing starts getting kind of steep. Real nice hike. This trail, Dickey Ridge Trail, continues on down here. You can see this dotted line. It continues on like this for quite a ways, 10 miles or so probably. But up to the visitor center and back, I think was about 8.5 miles. So that's pretty good. Pretty good hike. And down here, your elevation's about 600 feet. And up here, you're up around 1,900 feet. And that was the hike for today.